The independent report that you've referenced actually makes the economic and financial case towards a cost of living increase, and that is in part around the ability of the government to actually borrow to fund that pay rise. We've had numerous conversations in respect of this subject, and I've said repeatedly that debt in itself is not an issue, and it shouldn't be something that necessarily we should be afraid of. When you look at funding that pay increase as well, automatically the cost of that is reduced because of the additional tax revenue that the government will get back from that. So the work that's been done by the economists that we commissioned to do the report simply states that, yes,
This
it is
a report
affordable.
that we haven't yet seen. It hasn't been published.
It's not been published. I mean, it's not top secret, but it's not been published. And the contents of that report have driven the initial conversations and negotiations with government in respect of a cost of living increase.
So what exactly does it say about the affordability point?
Well, the affordability point is around the ability to borrow. I mean, it's around the economic stimulus that cost of living increase will actually provide. I mean, this is what we need to bear in mind, that with inflation ever increasing and the ability of individuals to spend being reduced, that is actually having an economic detriment and an economic impact. So actually, by increasing wages within the public sector, and as we keep saying, that will have a positive bounce into the private sector as well, that you're actually increasing the spending power of individuals, you're increasing, therefore, the money going into the economy. And like I say, by simple nature of the tax system, the government will be receiving a proportion of that money back in any event.
So you'd expect the government to borrow more? Do you think that that's fair, that businesses would have to, the private sector would have to subsidize a pay increase when they themselves cannot afford, in most cases, to pay their own employees more?
Well, again, that's the economic case. I mean, if individuals in the public sector are being paid more, then that is those individuals then being able to spend additional monies in the private sector. If you put more money in people's pockets, they can afford to spend more in terms of goods and services, in the hospitality sector, in terms of retailers. So it actually has that beneficial flow through in relation to all parts of the economy. Simply having pay restraints and not actually increasing wages does not work.